Hit subscribe on your way in, brother. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. Are you sure? Are you sure? My voice is so fucking deep now. It's such
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Minecraft.
I don't want to listen to your Minecraft so nostalgia. I want to listen to your awful video on Chris Tyson. Hello. SunnyV2. I've been looking at this video, watched it through a few times actually in the past 3 days since it was uploaded. Now I want to make a video on it. So yeah.
The Chris Tyson situation.
Jesus Christ, that's actually loud. Let me turn that down a bit. For the sake of everyone's hearing.
Could become a complete disaster for MrBeast's brand. However, it may also provide some unique benefits. So let's begin by going over the drama before explaining exactly how this will impact the MrBeast channel. In mid-2022, fans began to notice that Chris Tyson was changing. In the early days, he represented the quintessential southern gun and truck loving dude. Yet beginning in March 2022, Chris began to display increasingly feminine traits, making tweets such as "I finally got my nails done at a nail tech."
I think there's plenty of men on planet Earth that do this. There's plenty of men on planet Earth that do this. Anyway, so I'm gonna move on.
Additionally, Chris would highlight that his facial appearance had changed significantly since the start of the pandemic.
I only cut my hair once every year. It could be that. Like, come on, use your brain. Like, yeah, anyways.
Which accompanied another post reading, "Okay, so in 4 different customs I had to prove I was myself because I quote look nothing like my passport pic, so much that I'm considering updating my passport. Do you see any resemblance?"
August 27th, 2022.
Prompting
Ages ago.
replies such as, "You went from man to boy." Chris responded by stating, "Nah, to be honest, I just really started taking my mental health seriously and eating better. Yet
Now, before I get loads of comments saying this was lying, I've heard about it. Chris was only in HRT for like 2 months or so. This was before he went to HRT.
His Twitter photos kept insinuating that Chris was becoming more feminine, with this same kind of look showing up in his MrBeast appearances. For example, on the 6th of January 2023, Beast Reacts uploaded a video titled "I strapped a GoPro to a fish," in which Chris dressed in a way that prompted comments such as, "Chris has been adopting more and more traits that remind me of my grandmother."
We have this thing now called femboys, a lot of us are. I am. And yeah.
Okay, so some people just gonna ignore Chris's nails.
I don't feel like anyone would look at nails in a YouTube video like, okay, so let's say I was watching a MrBeast video. Look at that guy's nails. I'm gonna look at everyone's nails just to judge everyone on their nails. Ooh, my nail a bit musty, dusty, crusty.
Chris had to have lost a bet. The look is getting wild.
The look is fuck.
The response to the video then prompted countless viral TikToks, such as this one with 700,000 likes, stating, "How did Chris go from this to this?" While others even made the claim that Carl had turned him gay.
Okay. This is a bit interesting, this part. I don't see how there's any proof, really, with Carl turning him gay. Like, okay, they have the same nails. They've been... whatever.
Now, this was pretty
can't be
ridiculous,
bothered.
as Carl isn't even that feminine, and Chris
Exactly.
had come out as bisexual years before he and Carl had even met. The true catalyst for Chris Tyson's feminization instead seemed to have come from his marriage. In January...
It's... Man, so... I don't get why people who are celebrities, when they leave his wife and their kid, then they get cancelled. But then there's loads of other parents who are not on social media at all. They leave their wife and kids or husband and kids And yeah, they have no problem with this. It's just Chris being.
2022, Chris would post a photo with his wife to his Instagram, yet after this, the family photo stopped altogether. Fans also noticed that he'd removed his wedding ring, with the ring's absence correlating. A photo with his wife to his Instagram,
what's that shirt?
Yet after this, the family photo stopped altogether. Fans also noticed that he'd...
Suicide boss. I know this is completely unrelated, but what is that shirt, man? Sign me up.
Removed his wedding ring, with the ring's absence correlating perfectly with the very first post in which he'd painted his nails.
Are we still talking about him painting his nails, or are we moving on to marriage? I don't even know anymore.
Chris confirmed the split in a post from March 2023 reading, "For a little over a year now, me and Katie have been separated," with this also confirming that Chris's transformation began as soon as his marriage came to an end. Chris went from lighting campfires and raising a family with his beautiful wife to now trying to be a wife with his man buns and long nails.
Hold on, where are the man buns?
Soon as he split in a post
I see, okay.
To an end. Chris went from lighting campfires and raising a family with his beautiful wife to now trying to be a wife with his man buns and long nails.
Todd. Okay, Todd.
As the criticism continued to pile, Chris announced that he'd be taking a break from social media. And
yeah, understandable, man. Understandable. Especially if this YouTuber is just going to be showing homophobic people the whole time.
There was a possibility that Chris would make efforts to...
Or transphobic, sorry. I'm going to get it wrong. I'm going to mix up homophobic with transphobic the whole video. You guys have just got to deal with it.
For myself, he'd rather do the opposite and double down on his feminine image, showing up to the Kids' Choice Awards looking like this.
And the problem that you have with this is it's inspiring kids that want, some people like me even, that it's inspiring people like me, like, you can do what you want to do, be who you want to be, don't let others judge you.
The announcement that he'd been doing HRT for approximately 2 months, which according to a quick Google search is the medical process for changing genders.
If Sunny's implying that he did not know that while making this video, if I knew that ages ago, even my editor knew that ages ago. Pretty much everyone knew that ages ago.
Chris would expand on this by stating, "Informed consent HRT saved my and many others' lives. The hurdles GNC people have to jump through to get life-saving gender-affirming healthcare in a first world country is wild to me. Just let people make informed decisions about their own bodies," which
valid. That's quite valid.
Received a positive response from both Carl and MrBeast, who wrote, "Got you. I did one more heart than Carl because I'm a better friend."
And not including Carl's got you with hearts. It's like you're also homophobic as well, Mr. Sunny the Second.
While his co-workers expressed positivity, others weren't so welcoming. There goes a father figure the kid won't ever be able to look up to. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times.
So you're basically...
Man time.
So bro Evan's basically just saying his entire gender's like, we're all weak men. Alright.
Chris responded to this.
That's literally just making more.
Comment by stating, "This is just more dog whistling that somehow trans and GNC folks aren't safe around kids. Tucker begs for me to come back when I leave for like 2 days to film. He is so loved and happy. Kids aren't born with hate, it's taught by people like you, and my child will only know love."
That actually is quite wholesome. I love that.
I know I'm going to be a great parent, and so is every other person who puts the love of their child before everything. I made this decision because I wanted to show up as my best and happiest self for him. In a way, this was for Tucker. Chris's
it's for Tucker.
Response received some positivity such as, "I'm convinced you're an amazing father."
I feel like this is probably the first comment I've seen in this entire video that is not transphobic.
Tucker is lucky to have you and also lucky to have all of those who surround and support you in his life, as well as I adore that, I'm glad you made that decision. It's so much easier to be a parental figure when you're not struggling with dysphoria, yet he'd also receive an equal amount of backlash. You ripped apart your family and took a father figure away from your son just so you could paint your nails and act zesty. Pathetic.
We're gonna start counting how many homophobic people have included this video versus how many non-homophobic people have included this in video. Start counting. Go.
He will get torn apart at school, won't want to have
second person
around his house, a life full of difference and being alone.
Won't have friends around his house. What about is trans? Well, I don't know if he has trans friends. It's none of my business, and it's not none of your business to ask him that. I'm pretty sure not everyone in this world is transphobic. I'm pretty sure everyone who's fucking about on Twitter is transphobic.
Must have missed the point in that tweet. How's this for him when you're depriving him of a father figure?
Okay, Mr. B, you're with a bubblegum person as the profile
although
picture.
Chris wasn't altered by these comments, as he'd once again reiterate his certainty in a new post reading, "It's never too late to start being yourself," which
it really isn't
received
too
praise
late.
from MrBeast as well as Nolan and Carl.
And where is Nolan and Carl's comments? You're just too lazy to include them, instead show YouTube's comments.
However, these comments also added extra fuel to the fire.
Yeah,
in a few years, look back at this thread and remember they were never your friends. Only yes men cowards. Hope you come out of this safe.
Not really. It's not like this entire thing's a game of Among Us, man. Come on. Come on then, stop playing Roblox on your mum's iPad and get outside.
MrBeast responded to this with a simple opinion irrelevant ratio.
Destroy! I love how it has 4 times as many likes as M, and there's like just about as many views on the replies as there is on the other. That shows that MrBeast's reply is just better than M, so maybe the humans are on our side for once. An M. Unpopular opinion.
To which the original commenter would state, "I have 30 followers, so go ahead and ratio me. I'll still rest easy knowing that I'm not a coward who idly sits by watching my friend ruin his own life."
Right. Let's do a bit of Google searching, shall we? Let's do a bit of Google searching. How many people on Earth are transphobic? Right. Okay, here we go. These people managed to uncover 1.5 million. You're probably one of those. Young 16 is only stuff is on top of this is sexual assault. Okay, I don't care. And is that the end of reports? Transphobia exists everywhere. We know. I know that well enough. Right, let me in. Thank you. Let's watch the video.
In some ways, it was nice to see the boys standing up for Chris on Twitter. However, the situation has already begun to change the dynamic within the videos. For example, in a recent livestream titled "Opening 1,000 Mystery Art Boxes," Chris would once again dress in quite a feminine way, and while everybody participated...
Okay, was that expected? Was that not expected? I'm sorry? Was that expected or not? Were you expecting for Chris to dress in a feminine way? Of it already going through HRT? Was that expected or was it not expected? I demand an answer.
Smooth as it normally does. It felt as though there was an unaddressed elephant in the room, and therefore...
This is so out of context, and I can't believe I'm about to explain to the entirety of YouTube the difference between a video and a live stream. Live stream has no editing. MrBeast would be like this, filming a video, walking around the castle in his hotel, $1 versus $1 million hotel room video. He'd be walking around the castle, just walking around looking at shit. To be included in the videos? No. He wouldn't include this part in the live stream if he could actually edit it before it went up.
Everybody was in their head, as opposed to being in the present moment enjoying each other's company. Maybe everybody was simply too busy opening packages, but Chris did make these...
I think they do want the live stream to move on, so they are actually busy opening packages.
Bizarre jokes about Jimmy being female, making him incredibly
Here we go.
uncomfortable.
Oh my God, Jimmy! Look, they drew you. Jimmy, they drew you so well.
So if Sunny is taking it that it's not a joke, and oh wow, Chris is actually joking about MrBeast being female, and he takes it as not a joke, even though he literally says it's joking, and wow.
It looks just like you. Oh yes. Oh my God.
Why is my video quality so low? Hold on. Why am I at 480p? This is low.
Jimmy, how did fan art? This is what we were looking for. Be brave, be honest, be kind, MrBeast. That is my tagline.
Becoming even weirder when each member started to pay each other compliments.
Hey, nice shirt. Thanks, dude.
Thanks, dude. No shirt.
Hey, nice shirt.
Hey, no shirt. Hey, no shirt.
Shirt. Thanks. Nice shirt.
Shirt. Shoes. Hold on, this quality. No, I think 1080p is too much for recording. I apologise strongly. Do 720.
Shoes.
For the most part, the live stream was devoid of awkward moments. However, it
As every single other live stream
would
would
act as
be.
fodder for another
Right, so let's read the usernames. I am going to go hashtag Chris, hashtag trans, hashtag LGBTQ, hashtag weird. What is after that? I don't really want to know. Skull emoji, hashtag MrBeast, hashtag Chris, hashtag FYP, hashtag FYB weird smile. Name one in the room, Skull. Hashtag for you page, hashtag MrBeast, blah blah blah. Jimmy felt so uncomfortable in the video. Hashtag MrBeast, hashtag Chris Tyson.
100 million views worth of drama and criticism. Chris likely believes that people will slowly adapt to his new appearance over time, but is this really going to happen? Well, maybe. It's difficult to say as the situation is fairly unique, especially when considering Chris's reputation and influence. However, if Chris continues to transition, would it be unreasonable to say that he could jeopardize some of the personality traits which made him a successful member in the first place? Perhaps the opposite will happen, and he'll instead pick up new personality traits that better resonate with the current MrBeast audience. This was put forward in many.
Well, I don't know how the MrBeast audience is. I don't know. All of us know how the MrBeast audience is, so you're just
Comments supportive of Chris, who implied that there'll be millions of queer kids who look up to him.
wholesome comment, the best comment in the entire video. Ha ha ha. This is the least transphobic comment into the entire video. I love. I'm going to follow that guy later.
Mean that it'll add any value to the videos. MrBeast has likely cultivated a massive LGBT audience, all of whom are already.
Okay, so I feel like it's kind of obvious, like quite a lot of the world's LGBT now. And if MrBeast has got 146 million subscribers by now, that's quite obvious.
Anyway, and if
There's like a couple million.
anything from Hollywood in recent years, it's that adding over-the-top LGBT characters for the
Okay, so this is the shittiest comment in the entire video. What in the fuck is this? So Chris is not a human, he is actually a movie character, guys. I never knew that. They just, yeah, wow. Guys, look, Twitter V2. Because of Elias 7095.
sake of relatability rarely works as intended and is often nothing more than a distraction from the premise of the movie or video. On top of this, it can be uncomfortable and unrelatable for the silent majority, although as we have seen, a situation like Chris's does have the potential.
I don't mean any hate to Chris or the LGBT plus community. This is la la la. I'm glad that they have blah blah blah. So
to create an otherworldly amount of discussion, which could be seen as a benefit for the MrBeast brand.
Drama is good for growth, 100%.
I love how that's been. It's quite funny how that's been put in foul to context. So you have to admit. But like, yeah.
So you're a Keemstar?
The problem is this type of situation is probably the last thing that.
Okay, Ben Dover. The joke that will never end.
MrBeast wants to attract, as he's forced to agree with Chris's position, as he has no way of manipulating the situation without...
Jimmy is trying his best to smile, says the man with a profile picture with a face mask over there, probably not smiling at all.
being painted as the bad guy. It's a lose-lose situation for MrBeast. I think Jimmy is...
Once again, streams have loads of awkward moments. PSX and Monty spawn management for any Astralsmith viewers in the comments. I think Jimmy's in an inescapable situation if he gets out. Cross cancelled. If he doesn't, his channel will die for real. Oh, I don't know about that. Trans people, the population of trans people is rising, I'll tell you that much.
Situation. If he kicks out Chris, cancelled. If he don't, his channel will die for real. An inescapable situation is a pretty good way of describing the drama.
Are you sure? Are you sure? So, in what way is this inescapable? MrBeast is a great human. How is he in an inescapable situation? How is any of this Jimmy's fault? Like, there's nothing in this video that's related to Jimmy, but as a reason that Chris is starting HRT.
Which is also why it deserves the harsh label of being a nightmare. Jimmy has no option but to publicly express acceptance of Chris's transition as...
People are just forgetting MrBeast, or Chris, is MrBeast's best friend, oldest friend. He's been on... Chris has been on MrBeast's channel since like 2014, 2015. I actually don't know. A long time ago from what I've heard. Just...
Silence, or even worse, disapproval, would come with obvious severe repercussions. However, in accepting Chris's transition, Jimmy implies that this...
Yeah, accepting Chris's transition. And you're not sure about that. The moment later, I will show you the Twitter reply.
Content, thus annoying a different group of people, many of whom will never express their true...
Okay, I'm a defective human. You're the type of anti-furry that just lurks all over my Discord DMs, you homophobic, transphobic, anti-furry moron. Okay, Nemesis is going to end up dropping the views because of Chris. The views. I'm a defective human with a prism photo as their profile picture.
Feelings and may rather simply click on fewer MrBeast videos. If this is the case, Jimmy has no option but to accept this fate, as removing Chris...
They're just showing this clip to try to put more drama in, but I kind of recognise this from the MrBeast not eating video.
From the videos in any kind of way could,
I believe,
create an even more severe media firestorm. The only clean solution, should things go south, might be for Chris to resign himself, and even then rumours and bad press will be unavoidable. Whether it be arrogance or ignorance, Chris seems oblivious to how this whole thing might impact Jimmy.
And what type of situation are we in right now? Transphobia is the fucking situation here.
Forgetting that he achieved his current level of success by avoiding this exact type of drama.